Welcome to the Point Blank Performance YouTube channel. Today we're talking about an L5P Duramax. We're in our repair shop where we fix and diagnose diesel trucks. That brings us to the truck behind me, a 2017 L5P Duramax. So the L5P Duramaxes are a hot topic. The one behind me got towed in. The customer's complaint, when I put my truck in drive, it will not go anywhere. So guys, we've got the full emissions system laid out on the table. Nobody likes to spend money on unwanted repairs. That's the reason why we're bringing this video to you today. We're going to talk to you about maintaining your truck. Not only do you want to make power out of it, but the most crucial thing you want to do to your diesel truck is keep it maintenance. This filter should be clean. This filter is black. So we're going to dive into the emission system. Let's look at the first OEM emission product on the table. This is a factory Y bridge. It comes standard on all your L5P Duramaxes. Its purpose is to allow boosted air to travel through the throttle valve into the passenger and driver side intake runner. Now keep in mind, the airflow is going this way. It is acceptable in your driver and passenger intake manifold to have soot in there. In this instance, we have a lot of soot. Now step over here and we're going to look at the throttle valve. That's right, it does have a throttle valve just like a gas burner. Diesels adopted this in around 2003. You'll see them on your 6.0 diesels. There is soot in here. Now again, the airflow is going this way and you have soot on this side of it. That is not acceptable. We're going to take a look at where the soot's coming from. So let's flip this Y bridge over and let's figure out where the soot's coming from. Now right off the bat, imagine if my engine were below this intake manifold pulling a vacuum, meaning it was sucking down on this Y bridge. The direction of flow still is this way. Air goes in here. The EGR connects here by stainless steel piping, which you can see has soot in it, and goes on the side. So therefore, when the engine produces soot, the valve opens up, it flows this way. We can have soot down here at the base. You are not supposed to have soot down here at the throttle valve. That brings us to what is backwards of this, or what is downstream. We have an EGR cooler. If a cooler blows, it will have problems with it and it will do some different things. So let's look at that cooler and see if it actually is healthy or actually has a problem. So we've got the L5P EGR cooler laid out on the table. First off, what is the sole purpose of an EGR cooler? Well, to reference it, it's just like an AC for your house. You've got hot air moving across it, we've got to cool it down. We do that by engine coolant. It's 190 degrees and it'll go up to maybe 210. Now the hot air passing through here, the exhaust gases, at an idle, they're 300 degrees and they can go up to 1200. So it's really, really hot. And so those two, between the coolant and the exhaust gases, battle each other. And sometimes we do see these coolers erupt, meaning the coolant ports will bleed into the exhaust ports. We're going to take a look at this one. The exhaust ports, everything looks dry, it's sooted up as it should be, and all the coolant ports, they're clean as they should be with coolant. So guys, we got to take another look at another component on this truck and see where's all this soot coming from. So many of you are thinking that the turbocharger probably has a problem putting soot everywhere, but remember in the first of the video, we talked about the black air filter. Let's look into that. So this is the factory L5P air filter. As you can see, every bit of this is covered in black soot. Air flows across this. That means all this should be perfectly clean. That way when the turbocharger gets it, compresses it, goes to the engine, everything's happy. We've got a big problem. We are actually having a reverse of flow go on. That means soot from the engine is fighting through the turbocharger, going to the intercooler, passing through here, and going out to Mother Nature. Guys, you cannot have that. That is not how this diesel engine works. So there's a big, big problem. I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, let's jump to the turbocharger, and the turbocharger has to have a problem in it, and therefore exhaust gases are flowing back up through it. Let's flip this dude over, check it out. So let's take a look at this factory L5P turbocharger. Right off the bat, I'm gonna walk up to it, I'm gonna spin the turbine wheel where the exhaust gases go. It spins freely. We're gonna flip the turbo over, let's flip it over, be careful with it. We've got the compressor side where there should be clean air. You can see there's tons of soot there, so let's see if it's locked up. Spin it, get a little spin out of it, no big deal. So when I first seen this, I had to go, what in the world is going on? This is the first time I've ever seen one this catastrophic, extremely bad. Now let's dive into actually what's taking place. So we've got the turbocharger on the table. We know we have soot at the front of the compressor. The direction of flow is from the air filter to the turbocharger. This is a big fan. All it does is take air, spools it in here, and shoots it out. So this is clean air, or what should be clean air, but it has soot on it. As air passes through here, it goes through an intercooler, which is on the front of the engine, passes over to the Y bridge. Our compressed air is coming up through our Y bridge, getting induced with exhaust gases and getting sucked down by the engine. This Y bridge is on top of the engine, so it's getting pulled down. The engine is a vacuum pump, meaning there's only so much air at an idle it can take. And when you induce another form of air, which in this case is exhaust gases, and it fills the engine up with as much as it can take, it has to flow backwards. So the only place that it can do that is this way. It comes back and flows back up through the turbocharger and out the air filter. If not, something's going to explode. It has to get out because it's forcing it through, and the engine cannot eat any more of it. It's got to go somewhere, so it's going to go to the air filter. So it travels back out through the intercooler, up to the turbocharger, out the air filter. Now, why in the world is there that much pressure on the exhaust system at an idle? Guys, we've got the culprit to the problem. The one key missing part to this that we have not talked about is what is on the back side of the turbocharger. There is filters right behind it and all down through the exhaust. The sole purpose of these filters is to make for sure you never see that black soot coming out the exhaust. But one thing that you don't see is the accumulation of black soot inside these filters. So what you are seeing and witnessing is a filter 100% stopped up, not allowing exhaust gases to travel from the turbocharger to the filter and out of the truck. When this happens, that excess pressure, because it is pressure as we refer to it as back pressure, has to come out somewhere. So when the EGR valve opens up and it goes into your Y bridge, your engine can only take up so much pressure at an idle, and our path of least resistance is actually to go back out and run to the top of the air filter. And that's what's taking place. The engine can only take so much of this pressure that it's got to go to another route. And the source is go out the air filter because the engine can't breathe. This engine is actually trying to find another source, which is the air filter, to get rid of all that soot. This is a 100% stopped up DPF system. So guys, when you don't pay attention to the message on your dash, this is exactly what happens. This entire system has to be replaced. So guys, we're gonna get the exhaust back on this L5P Duramax and get him back out on the road making money. If you like more informative videos like the one we did today, drop us a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. If you like that, thumbs up. Guys, as always, please like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out on all forms of social media. It's Point Blank Performance. Check out our new merch. Go to pointblankperformance.com. And guys, next week we'll be back with a new video here at PBP.